But even if I wasn't making a lot of income, which I wasn't for a little while, I was able to reduce my costs so much that it didn't feel stressful to be living without a traditional job. Hey beautiful people, my name's Brittany, and today I want to share about my top tip for financial freedom. About maybe, 5-7 years ago, something like that, I started my own business. I left my traditional job, started traveling the world just out of a backpack, and during that time I started my own YouTube channel and had this consulting business, and what's morphed has been these two businesses now, the one I have here and then the one that Conor and I share, where I feel like my job is to live my life and to share my passion, my experiences with the world, and it's the best feeling. And having that freedom is something that I have heard from a lot of people that they want to have, whether that's running their own business that they're passionate about or just feeling like they even have the financial freedom to explore and learn more about what they're passionate about. Feeling financially free is definitely something that I've experienced most of my life to a large degree. I don't feel like there was ever a time where I felt like there was something I wanted to do but finances were holding me back. But I do feel like I have way more relax and ease in that area than ever before. I really love finances and money and how they can enhance my life, and they don't feel like something that's deterring me. My tip for today is going to be around two parts. First, understanding your finances and your budget, and then two, using that knowledge and information to your advantage to make choices that really benefit you. My experience with understanding my finances has largely come from tracking my spendings and my income. I've had a budget spreadsheet for just about as long as I can remember earning an income, definitely since I was about 14. And that was inspired by my dad. Thank you, Dad. So grateful that you were into that. I'm so into that now. And it started just on paper, something simple, and then I got into Excel, and now I love using Excel. I actually have a budget spreadsheet on my website that you can check out if you want to use it as a template or create one for yourself. And what that's really helped me understand is, where is my money going? Where is it coming from and where is it going? Because a lot of the time I feel like people can feel stressed about finances in large part because they don't know. They might feel like, man, I'm really living on the edge, or I don't have a lot of money, or I have a lot of money, and they might be wrong about that. Just about like the specific details of it, because they aren't tracking it and it's more a feeling. I found that by tracking these things, I feel much more at ease. It's not a guessing game. When I decided to leave my traditional job, start my own business, sure, there was a big leap in there. That's a big life change. And also, I felt like I had a lot of data to back up my choice. I knew how much it would cost me to live. I knew how much money I had. I knew how much was coming in. I was able to make a lot of good predictions. So while I did take some big risks in there, they always felt like calculated risks. So that's part one, finding a way that resonates with us to understand our finances and track them, and maybe set up a budget for ourselves that feels good for us to live by, to get to our next goal or our next vision we have in mind for ourselves, the person we're becoming more of. With that knowledge and all those figures and numbers, I was able to do part two, which is the real treat I want to share with you in this video, which was reducing my expenditures significantly. And it was super fun when I looked through my spreadsheet to recognize, okay, like which of these things are really adding value to my life and are important, and which of them really don't feel necessary or important to me. And the more I chop those things off, the more I realized I could let go of. So it was like a minimalist approach to spending that felt like really resonated with me at the time and still does resonate with me. I love finding areas of my life that just I can let go of. There were a lot of things I found I didn't need anymore. I did reduce my life to a backpack, and that was my choice. It wasn't like I felt like I was scraping by. It was that I wanted the freedom. I wanted to be able to travel the world with just my backpack, have my laptop computer, run a business online. But even if I wasn't making a lot of income, which I wasn't for a little while, I was able to reduce my costs so much that it didn't feel stressful to be living without a traditional job. And I met a lot of people during, especially those first years where my business was still in its infantile phases. I wasn't earning a ton of income. I met a ton of people who had more traditional jobs, earned way more money than I did. And they told me how lucky I was and how they wished that they could do that. What really struck me in those moments was that I felt like these people were looking at me thinking, wow, she must be earning so much money, or she must have something that I don't have. But the truth was, on paper, they had a lot more like wealth or abundance than I did, but I had the freedom that they craved, and I guess the balls to go for it and do it radically different. So I'm trying to help you have those balls if that's what you want, and to tell you there are a couple things that I think you can do that can make you feel more secure in those choices and decisions. Some of the things that I cut out that I didn't need anymore were like my car. At the time, I didn't want to have a car or the insurance on it or the repairs or the gas, all the things that come along with it. So I let that go. I didn't want to be living in one place full time, so I let go of my rent costs. There were a lot of other little costs that are so easy to forget about now, but like gym membership and what other things I just spent on the daily or regularly. It's so funny because my life is so different from that now. But I let all those things go. And then I found that I was naturally attracted at that time to travel, and I was traveling in Central America, and the cost of living is a lot lower. So radically reducing my spendings, and then also the cost of living where I was. That's a huge thing. I'm in Chiang Mai, Thailand right now, and no matter how much I try to spend here, not that I try, but if I were to try, it would be really hard to rack up a large bill living life here because things are just radically less expensive. And it's interesting because my quality of life feels so much higher here in so many ways and just costs a lot less. So that's something fun to play around with too. Like if there's a place that you want to explore, and if the cost of living is a lot lower, that can be a way to sort of jumpstart things, I think, and give you space to explore without feeling like, okay, I have X amount of dollars and they're going to go really fast. It might be like, okay, I have X amount of dollars and I got a lot of time. I can live here for a while. In Chiang Mai right now, the place that Conor and I rent, it's like $225 a month. Massages, which we love getting, are $6 each. Eating food out, I mean, you can eat for a day on a couple of dollars, or you could spend up to like $30, but it would be hard to spend $30 a day. You'd have to spend $10, 3 meals a day here. It's just amazing how much, that's just one area. It's amazing how much you can do on less money in certain places in the world. So that's something fun to tap into. Or even staying in the space that you are in, maybe the country or area that you live in, but finding ways to do it differently. I moved back home and I redid my parents' basement with my partner at the time, and we lived there for like a year and a half during the last year I was working, and I just saved money, and we loved living there. There were so many benefits to it, and it helped us kickstart the next phase in our journey. What I love about this is it really calls us to find out what is truly adding value to our lives. And maybe there's some things that we feel like that's not adding value to my life, but I feel like I need to have it. And those are fun areas to play around with and challenge ourselves and say, okay, do I really need to have it? What would it feel like if I let it go? Would it feel like liberating? Would that feel stressful? Just to be more playful with these questions and to feel like we can really set ourselves up for success, make our lives what we want, make it work for us, and not feel like we're trapped in some system that doesn't resonate with us. Because ultimately, we all get to choose every single day the life that we're living, and we're doing it whether we recognize it or not. And yeah, I just feel like from what I've heard, so many people are asking for more freedom and also more security and more abundance at the same time. And I have such a desire to tell you that in my experience, I feel like we can have them all. And now I feel like I'm receiving more financial abundance than ever before. And it feels amazing. And also my life has been amazing throughout the whole process because of these tips largely. So that's why I wanted to share them with you. And I hope that you dig it. I hope that you have found value in this. I'm going to put some links down below to other videos that might resonate with you on similar topics that I've done. Also, I have that budget spreadsheet, which I told you about, and I have a sale on my program Simplify. So if you want to check that out, I have a sale going on all month, and that's a great program if you want to kind of like figure out what's working in your life, what you want to let go of, welcome in more of the life that you're really wanting to embrace. You deserve it. I love you guys so much. Thanks for watching. Mwah.